old people are the strange. I don't get it. I don't understand the elderly at all. They don't make any sense to me anymore. I thought I understood it, but now where I'm at, it doesn't make any sense. But you know what does make sense? Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Very Reasonable Pilots podcast. I'm your host, Charles Long. With me, as always, my co-host, editor, producer, co-pilot, gunner, navigator, orator, and podcasting associate, Jacob Gloth. How you doing today, Jacob?
I am swell, Charles. Excited for another episode of the podcast. We pitch new TV shows every single week. New storylines, new plot devices, new characters, new fantasy worlds, new science fiction ideas, all that good stuff.
I have one of those. I have my characters, storylines, and plot devices I'm a little shaky on. But I've got my characters for this week, because I am pitching a TV show titled... Do you remember the title you gave me?
I remember the second title I gave you. I keep forgetting the one. I think it's Anywhere Out of the World. Anywhere
Out of the World. That is the title that I'm working with, and I have three protagonists that we will be following, and I don't really have very much else besides three protagonists, and so you and I are going to come up with a couple of episode ideas for our fun characters to get into. But this is a very classic VRP show, space sitcom, you know, a little bit of fun, little bit of relaxation in our comfort zones, you know? It's like hanging around in a warm bath, I would say. You know? So our first character is Henry Frank, a Michelin star rated chef turned solar fry cook, working on a food truck that orbits Saturn's largest moon. So, and Henry's kind of a bastard a little bit. Like if anyone in the audience has ever worked with chefs before, you know that they can kind of be intense and very they're artists. A really high quality chef is an artist, but instead of making one painting every 6 months or something, they're making 60 dishes every night, you know. So chefs can be real intense people. And Henry Frank, I would say, was an incredibly intense guy in his prime, when he was a Michelin star rated chef, working in high intensity kitchens, right? But there was a falling out that he had with not only the people he worked with, but also with the general hustle and bustle of high-end restaurants.
Is this the Jon Favreau movie about him being a chef except in space?
Chef? Oh my god, it is.
Shit. A very famous chef who then becomes a food truck guy. It's a little different because I think it was like a food critic destroyed him and then built him back up.
Yeah. And this is, oh my god, Jake.
You're becoming Jon Favreau.
I pitched chef, but in space. Oh, God. Oh, well.
Don't worry, you have time to redeem it.
It's fine.
Where's it going?
But Henry Frank was a high-powered chef, right, in a Michelin star-rated restaurant, but he had a falling out, and we're not really going to get into why he left, but he was sleeping around, he was drinking, he was doing drugs, he was kind of a mess. As many chefs are. And it caused him to lose all of his accolades and prestige, and now he's working on this food truck that orbits Saturn's largest moon, and, the show is him just bumbling into various different adventures, by, virtue of his truck and his, fellow food truck patrons, the second of which, employees, second of which is Carl is a alien prince who escaped his arranged marriage and now drives a food truck.
Just like in Chef, the Jon Favreau movie.
Yeah, just like in Chef. I forget who who was Chef's friend in that movie. John Leguizamo. Yeah, he's Chef's friend, and then Chef has a son also. Henry Frank doesn't have a son or anyone. He's kind of a apathetic, morose dude. He doesn't have any kids, but Carl is a kind of a ditzy alien prince guy. And so he's an alien, but he's just like, imagine a regular human man, but he's got two little antennae, kind of like Mantis from the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Yeah, he's just kind of this ditzy Ken from Barbie-esque character who's very dumb and just excited and happy to be included. And he's lived in the lap of luxury his entire life, and so he's kind of enjoying slumming it in this food truck. The food truck is named Apollo 400 Degrees. So that's the name of the food truck. It is also the name of the AI for the food truck that is constantly trying to remove her passengers, in quotations, and fly to the moon in order to prove that the moon landing was, in fact, falsified and not true. She is the food truck itself is a moon landing denier, which everyone is constantly pointing out to her that it doesn't matter if the moon landing was faked or not. We're in space. We're literally flying around space. Who cares if the moon landing was faked or not? But she is very committed to the idea that the moon landing was, in fact, a falsified, operation used to bankrupt the communists of the USSR and, prevail the American imperialism. And so those are our three main characters, and the show will be chiefly concerned with the three of them bumming around space and getting into all sorts of shenanigans and funny things. And I thought one of the bits that we could do, one of the reoccurring bits of the show could be they are cooking a different food every week. And so Henry Frank is constantly trying out new ingredients and new methods of cooking things. But it's always, not received well by the regular patrons of the Apollo 400 Degrees because, they just want hot dogs and tacos and cheeseburgers. Nobody wants his lemon and mint reduction or whatever,
What does the station look like, if you could describe it, at least in your head?
The food truck to me is imagine the fact that you just said it was Chef is really fucking with me, honestly, because it is just Chef. So imagine a regular style food truck, right, with the where it opens up on the side and there's a window and people stick their heads out and they're taking orders, but everyone's got those big bulbous helmets on that people would wear in 50s sci-fi. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So nobody's got spacesuits on, but everyone's got a big goldfish head style helmet on their heads, and it is not providing any real safety measures, but everyone wears them all the time. And I would say it's also a house. So not only are Henry and Carl living or working in the food truck, they're also living in it. So you've got
an RV,
kind of,
except it's got a food truck cutout on the side.
Exactly.
The window.
Well, I would say that even the beds are folded above the fryer, so when they go to sleep, the fryer just lands, just kind of folds out, and you just you sleep above the fryer, and so everything has this horrible scent of just fried oil, and and if you've ever worked in a restaurant, that scent gets into everything. And so and I kind of think of this as like kind of they're filthy, they're dirty, they're degenerates, and they just get into all sorts of fun adventures. I did have an idea for the pilot episode, which could be our main characters are driving along, they're, it's also got wheels. Like, it looks like a car. It doesn't look like a spaceship at all. Yeah. It just drives through the stars with its wheels. But our main characters run into they get an order from the space station, and they're very excited, because it's a very big order, but it's all the exact same thing. Everyone is on the space station, like the 1,000 people on the space station are all getting the exact same, like, turkey club sandwich without mayonnaise, cut at a diagonal. And so they're a little, like, freaked out, like, why is it all the same thing? But they spend all day and all night making these sandwiches, and really, like, it's a lot of work, and it's very stressful, and they're, like, turning away customers who, come up and try and order food, and they're like, get the hell away from here, we're working, can't you see that we're working? And they freak out at them. And then they rock up to the space station that made the order, like, kind of like delivery style, hey, we've got your stuff. And they go on the space station, and it is a cult that is made up of the same guy. Like, it's one dude who's just, like, found himself from all these different dimensions, and they've all collected into this one cult.
Like that. I don't know if you've seen Invincible, but there's a guy that does that except for evil purposes. But
yeah, there's no evil purposes.
So
I dig it. Or the Council of Ricks from Rick and Morty, Council of Reeds from Marvel Comics, that sort of thing. Or I haven't seen it, but Spider-Verse, the second one, there's
You didn't see the second Spider-Verse? What the?
I haven't seen the second Spider-Verse.
You go watch that.
I'll watch it soon. I haven't
maybe
really
wait until
watched...
the next one is about to come out and then watch it, because it kind of ends on a cliffhanger.
That was what I heard, and so that was my plan, because I really liked the first Spider-Verse, one of the top best animated movies of all time, in my humble opinion. And I heard that the second one ended on a cliffhanger, and then I heard that the third one got pushed to be released in like 2029 or something like that. And so my thought process was, I'm not gonna watch the second one until, like, I know that the third one is gonna come out soon-ish, because I don't really like just sitting on the edge of my seat waiting for things, to come out.
It sucks when you can't release a movie and then make us wait like a couple of years for the next part of Respublica season 5. Yeah, it's terrible. Why would anyone do that? Why would anyone not release the next part?
It's just disrespectful to the audience, in my humble opinion.
Make us wait so long.
And, if there was like a second person who was also waiting to hear or see something, and they were waiting for it for so long that they kind of forgot that they were waiting for it, and then they keep getting reminded every once in a while, it can be a little vexing. But yeah, they all back to the episode. Yeah, there's this space station that is a cult made entirely of the same guy who's just found himself dimension hopping. But like whenever you see people who dimension hop in TV shows and movies and stuff, they're always really interesting because they've been everywhere and they've done everything and all this stuff. But he's the most boring man in the world. That's the joke, is that rather than being a really cool, interesting, dimensional hero, he likes his turkey club sandwiches and he likes watching Hallmark movies.
Yeah, and the variations are like, well, he likes mayo on his sandwich and he doesn't like mayo.
That would be funny. He likes
hot mustard, doesn't like hot mustard. He's more of like a ground mustard. This guy kind of likes a German spicy mustard.
Yeah, this guy likes whole grain mustard. I would love it if everyone got a turkey club with no mayo except for one guy. One variant got a turkey club with mayo and everyone bullies the shit out of him. Like, that's the only difference between him and the rest of the variants, is that he's like this depressed
And he likes
dude
mayo.
because he likes mayonnaise, and
No,
everyone
I think it should be the opposite, and then like at the everybody except for one guy doesn't want mayo, and I think maybe at the like are they gonna escape this station or something like that? They have to like break out. Maybe they get like trapped in there and they have to keep making these sandwiches, and part of the way that they like get out is they like I don't know, cover this dude in mayo, and he's just like having a freaking heart attack.
I was gonna say that the guy who, like, the one who's ostracized by all of the other variants, like, teams up with Sitkal, who's, again, a ditzy alien prince, and, like, who accidentally joins with this dude who's totally been ostracized, and they destroy the station and kill all the variants, and the episode ends with Sitkal sitting with the, like, strange variant, and, like, just sitting with him as they watch the station explode, and the variant is kind of, like, clapping, and he's really happy and excited about it, and then Sitkal just kind of goes, Jesus Christ, this dude's a nutcase, and kicks him out the airlock.
One of the reoccurring things we could have with Frank is that, like, he doesn't really know what kind of food truck he wants to have, you know? Like, he doesn't want to do just one cuisine, so he's constantly reinventing himself. So sometimes it's like a taco truck, sometimes it's hot dogs, sometimes it's sandwiches, sometimes it's, you know, I don't know, like,
ramen.
you know, ever seen that guy on
or
Instagram that does,
something?
like, the baked potato truck? Maybe he does that.
Oh, yeah, I have seen the baked potato truck.
But, like,
I
it's
would
like a
let
different
that-
thing
do you
each
think that's
episode.
fun?
And maybe that episode with the cult, it's like he's finally making a lot of money because these cult guys are really just churning out these turkey sandwiches for him. Like, because they're all, you know, they all want these turkey sandwiches. And then he's like, this is exactly why I got away from the fine dining thing. I don't want to make the same dish every freaking day.
Yeah. Or maybe there isn't just one variant who likes mayonnaise. There's like a bunch of variants who like mayonnaise.
Oh, it's
and
like a
they're
secret
building
rebellion.
they're starting to like construct this underground rebellion inside of the cult. All centered around mayonnaise. And Sitkal is their like messiah. Because he's like, he doesn't think it's weird that they like mayonnaise. He also likes mayonnaise. And so they're like, he's the one that the legends have spoken about. The truest mayonnaise fan.
I still think it should be the
us.
opposite. It should be the people that don't like mayonnaise. Because I feel like in general in society, people like mayonnaise. But there are a vocal few people that really hate mayo. So I think that would play into it more. Like, I think most people like mayo. But I think
would say so too.
There's a minority of people that hate mayo. So I think that would play better for the audience.
Or maybe it's like one of them likes mayo and the other, like, some of them like mayo. Most of them like mayo and some of them like aioli. And so that's the real
It's aioli
problem.
versus mayo. That's what it is.
Exactly. And then
Yeah.
Sitkal is like, wait, I didn't know there was a difference. What's the difference? One has garlic in it? You just like garlic mayo? Is that the problem?
A good like overarching plot line maybe is that like they're trying to get a high enough like star rating on a certain app so they could enter the like food truck wars and like go into like a tournament style competition, and that could be like you know, a 3-episode or 4-episode arc where then they get into the food truck wars and they have like maybe it's a 2-parter and they're like competing to have the best food truck in the galaxy. And
maybe it could be like kind of like Pokemon with Ash trying to get into
they have to like
the
beat all the different people to get to get like their
there's
badges.
competitions all over the galaxy that
That
they
would
have
actually
to
be sick.
enter.
They have to like challenge like different food trucks for dominance in an area. But everyone else, when they do that, they like set up a chain like a food truck. So like you'll beat like essentially the gym leader like in Pokemon, and then you set up like a chain. But they never do. They just leave. And so they start building up like some sort of, at first the people just think they're idiots, but they start building up like a rep among like the indie food truck people, because they're like, they're not destroying these other food trucks, they're just beating them and moving on. Meanwhile, like their arch nemesis is like building like a super chain of food trucks.
Their arch nemesis is McDonald's. Maybe that's not McDonald's specifically, but like
McDaniels.
McDaniels.
the hot dog king.
The hot dog king the sausage king of Chicago.
Steak fillet. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that could be funny if it was like our Apollo 400 Degrees specializes in kind of like grub and like casual dining food trucks, and then their rival is like high-end food trucks where you're getting like steak frites and caviar and stuff like that.
Oh, I was just doing like a play on words of Chick-fil-A. I was not going there, but that's a decent idea too. They could have a couple different rivals, I think. Rival trucks.
Various rival trucks and various, angry patrons and stuff. I think that this is a lot of opportunity for very interesting characters.
I think they need, if we're doing this Pokemon route, they need like a Team Rocket, essentially. So there's got to be like a really, like essentially Plankton from SpongeBob, like the really bad food truck that's nearby that nobody wants to eat at, but is constantly trying to sabotage their truck.
Maybe they serve plankton. That would, I think, no, algae. It's like a,
I think we have to be on the nose if we're going to do the parody, so plankton I think would work. Like they serve plankton, maybe it's three siblings that all live in the same truck, like really cramped, except for one sibling has like 90% of the room in the truck for like the living, like half the truck is like a bedroom for that one sibling, and then the other two are just cramped above the fryer.
Like you get one like sister and two twin brothers, and the twin brothers are like Tweedledum and Tweedledee, and there's these two morons who just do what they're told, and they are like, and the sister who's the oldest and in charge, or maybe she's the youngest and she's in charge. I think that would be fun.
And her name's Roxy, and the other two are Boxy, and I need another.
Foxy.
It's gotta be a dude though. Loxy.
Lox. Now, how about this? The twins are named Roxy and Loxy, and then the oldest girl the youngest girl is named like Daniel. Like she's got like a weird name that shouldn't
you gotta
fit with her.
Fit the names of the characters here.
Right? And yeah, they're like all science. Maybe that's their like, Henry. He cooks with love. He cooks with his heart, and he cooks with passion. But they cook with science, and so everything is very technical and everything's measured. Whereas Henry Frank is just like he's adding a little bit of this and that, trying new things. He's experimenting every time he cooks something. He wants to try and cook something new. Because you're right. I think it would be a good motivation for him that, like, he wants to make, like, the reason he got out of fine dining, one of the reasons, is that he was sick and tired of making the same food every day, you know? And so his whole thing is that he cooks with passion and fervor and excitement. Whereas
maybe the Team Rocket could also have to even really hammer it down, this analogy, like the Team Rocket have like a Foodatron 3000, and all they do is just throw all the ingredients in this like microwave looking machine, and then it just pops out with the meal.
Yeah, it just pops out with this disgusting food. And their whole thing is that they're like, this is the most, sustainable food of all time. So they're, serving plankton and algae and crickets and stuff like that. Just like really gross stuff. Whereas Henry Frank is constantly using all of the potential profits that Apollo 400 Degrees is making to buy ingredients and try new things,
Yeah, they're just buying the cheapest stuff is what you mean, and then he's spending all of his money on new ingredients.
Because I do think that would be a funny episode, like, opener at the very least, is Henry Frank, like, Sitcall is, like, so happy. He's like, oh my god, we raked in the profits last week, we were selling so much, like, I had to hop in the kitchen, that's how busy we were, like, it was great, it was awesome. And then he goes to check the like, box where all the money's gone, and there's no money there, and it's just, a fly comes out because it's empty. And he's like, what the fuck is going on? And he starts to freak out, and he's like, oh my god, we've been robbed. Oh Jesus, what are we gonna do? And then Henry Frank shows up, and he's like, hey, what's the problem? Oh, we've been robbed, everything's fucked, we're so fucked. He's like, we haven't been robbed, don't worry, I bought these. And he's like, he shows 2 truffles, like just 2 of these lumpy black truffles that look rotten. He's like, these are the best truffles. These are Venetian truffles. You only get them once a year. The planet only produces 4 of them. These were super expensive, but we're going to use these in our food, and we're going to rake in the profits. Don't even worry. And Sick Carl is like super angry at him for spending all the money, but Henry Frank is able to like dissuade him by saying, oh my god, you don't even know. Like, I'll make you something that just uses like a single, you know, a little bit of these truffles, and you'll be so blown away by it that you'll understand why I spent all of our profits on this. And then he spends all night making this like incredibly indulgent dish, and he tastes it like he spends so much time stirring and cooking, and he you know, finally plates it, and he's like, oh well, you know, a little taste wouldn't hurt anybody. And he, you know, tastes the sauce or whatever he made with the truffles, and he's like, this is horrible. Like, these truffles are disgusting. And so he's just like the entire episode trying to find ways to use these truffles in a way that they would actually be appetizing. And so he makes ice cream, he makes sandwiches, he makes soups, he makes desserts, and he just can't find a way to make these truffles taste good until eventually they've used all of the truffles trying to find a way to make it taste good. And like, they're like, okay, we finally found a way to make it taste good. All right, get the truffles out and we'll cook with them. Turns out we just used the last of the truffle.
Oh, yeah.
Damn it.
Just use the final one.
Mm-hmm. Like, there's the last shaving of the truffle on top of something, and they're like, oh, man. And so they're back at square one. Because it's a sitcom, so it has to be, like, they start...
to go back to status quo.
It has to go to the status quo, which is crazy computer, annoying chef, ditzy driver, you know?
Yeah.
That's kind of our mode. And yeah, I like the Pokemon idea. I think that's fun, of them like battling their way through all of the food trucks in the galaxy, trying to become the greatest food truck of all time. And then eventually they become, you know, the greatest food truck of all time. In the, you know, final episode of season 1, they get the awards and the accolades and stuff. And they start working, and they're like, oh my god, this is the best, and they're making all this money. But again, eventually, Henry Frank is just so sick of making all this food that he and Sick Carl decide, you know what, let's go and start a different food truck that's not as popular. And so they take Apollo 400 Degrees, the AI, and they plug it into a different truck, and they park it somewhere else. And he's like, you know what, I think I'm gonna try and make ramen. And, you know, that's the end of the show.
Yeah, it just tears everything down. Like, fuck it.
Yeah, who needs it? I don't care.
I thought of a fun episode idea. I think they should, like, the ship should get damaged somehow, or like maybe it's an asteroid or something, and then they crash land on a planet, and we have like this slow story of Frank like falling in love, and like he starts working at a diner, and he's like really enjoying making food at the diner, and he's like slowly coming to terms with like all the problems he's had in life, and you know, healing because he, you know, has this love in his life now, and he's becoming a part of this community. We'll see him like going into like community events and, you know, coaching like the high school like baseball team or something like that.
Yeah.
Like this small like frontier town on this like middle of nowhere planet, and he like seems like he's finally happy, and then the prince will come up and be like, hey, the ship's fixed. He'll be like, oh, thank God, and then he'll get up and
thank God. Yeah, I would love it if, yeah, that would be great if he was like sitting, you know, he was sitting at and I'm imagining him like he's gotten older, and he's sitting there, and he's got this big gray beard on, and his wife is sitting next to him, and he's got like his granddaughter on his lap, and he's like telling stories, and everyone's loving him, and he's the patriarch of this family. And then Sick Carl shows up, and he says, hey, I got the ship fixed. And he stands, he's like, oh, thank God. He stands up, throwing the granddaughter onto the ground. He takes the beard and rips it off, and he's like, all right, let's go. All right, fantastic. Oh my God, I'm so sick of these hicks. Jesus Christ.
Jesus. Making fucking steak and eggs every single day. I mean, come on. Do we have any other food here? Diner food all the time.
Diner food? Ugh, disgusting. He's like, "Oh, honey, where are you going? When will you be back?"
I'll be back. I'm getting some milk.
Yeah, I'm going out to get some milk and cigarettes. Go, let's go.
Yeah, and he should have just, like, at some point in the episode, he should have also told the story of, like, how his dad left him and said he was going to get some milk, and he'll say the exact same thing at the end when he's leaving.
Oh, that's great. Or his dad left him by saying, like, "Oh, I gotta go return some DVDs.
I gotta go return some DVDs, yeah." And then he'll say the same thing.
I gotta go return Die Hard 2. I'll be back in a few hours. See you guys later. Enjoy the steak and eggs. Go, let's go. Go fast. I also would love it if Apollo 400 Degrees fell in love with a different ship's AI. I think that would be a fun story.
It could be a Romeo Juliet story. Like, Apollo 400 Degrees could be in love with the Team Rocket ship's AI, and they're like sneaking out to like see each other and stuff like that, having like secret Wi-Fi signals connecting them.
Ooh.
All this kind of stuff.
And
they transfer their consciousness into like the same, or like two like cleaning robots, while like everybody else is at like the food competition for like the food truck wars. They're like. They transferred their consciousness into like these two little like janitor robots that are cleaning up the thing, and they're having like this like Lady and the Tramp style love story.
Oh yeah, they've got this beautiful love story that ends when Apollo 400 Degrees finds out that the other food truck believes the moon landing happened.
Yeah.
It was like my favorite story from human history. The moon landing. Apollo 400 Degrees is like, the what landing? The moon landing. And
Yeah.
With Lance Armstrong.
Well, that'll be like the end of the episode, and we'll cut away, and the next episode he's like, yeah, no, I don't give a fuck about that stupid ship anymore. Jesus.
Ugh. I can't be with somebody who believes all that propaganda. That's disgusting. Also, have you guys heard, I just joined this new church. It's called the Church of Scientology. It's actually really interesting. I think you guys would like it. And that's the end of the episode.
It's founded by this Tom Cruise guy.
Yeah, he's still alive somehow. He's 4,000 years
Mission
old.
Impossible 300's coming out soon.
Oh my god. I don't think I've seen a Mission Impossible movie in 20 years. But yeah, that's my show. I know that it wasn't the most in-depth show that you could ever imagine, but
I liked it.
Definitely.
We got some cool ideas in there.
Yeah.
That was anywhere out of the world. Very exciting.
Very exciting. Well, thank you everyone for listening to the Very Reasonable Pilots podcast. I've been your host, Charles. Along with me has always been my co-host, editor, producer, co-pilot, gunner, navigator, orator, and podcasting associate, Jacob Loth. If you like what you heard here and you want to hear more, please give us a like, a follow, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your dog, tell your cat, and remember, we will be here next week with a brand new television series for you to imagine and enjoy. Do you want to know what your title is, Jake?
I do. I really would, because I need to write it.
Yeah. Well, the title I have for you is Shoe Leather.
That you didn't give me. Is that you only have one left? Was that your last one?
I only had one written down. Yeah.
Shoe leather.
Shoe leather.
Man, I gave you anywhere out of the world, and you gave me shoe leather.
Yeah. I'm a bastard. I'm a mean man.
Well, everyone, thank you for joining the last episode of the Missile Pilots podcast. Because there's no way I'm coming up with something for shoe leather.
You can come up with, if you don't like it, I can come up with a different title for you.
No, it's too late now, Charlie.
Sweetheart.
Your next title is Stupid Piece of Shit.
I think shoe leather is a good idea.
It's a show all about you.
It's a good title, I think, shoe leather. You don't think you can come up with something for shoe leather?
We'll see.
Believe in you.
It's going to be really dumb is what it's going to be.
Well, yeah, but, so was this show, and I had a good title.
About a idiotic shoe salesman named Charles who eats shoe leather because he's a stupid piece of shit. Nobody likes him.
Well, at least, see, you said you couldn't come up with an idea. There's an idea right there.
Yeah, it's me 45 minutes of me talking about this dumb idiot.
All right, well, thank you, everyone, for listening, and have a good night.